Hey everybody, Cal Possible Performance, first ever cooking edition. I and my good friend Anthony, we just worked hamstrings, and he was a little bit fuzzy on how to do a food prep. So he's got 8 whole eggs here, and we're going to cook them all in one shot. My favorite method, soft boiling. All right. Now, what I would recommend, the first thing to do when you decide that you've got to do your food prep on some soft boiled eggs is at least 2 hours ahead of time. You can do this the night before. Take them out and leave them on the countertop. Now, we only decided we were going to cook our eggs a few minutes ago, so we're going to take them out of the container. We're going to put them right in some running hot water. Now, there's a couple of points to doing this. With a soft-boiled egg, you got to make sure that you know exactly how long your egg is in that boiling water for and coming out. So if you put cool eggs in that boiling water, it's going to bring the water out of a boil. Make sure that our eggs are not going to cool off the water. We got to bring them up to temp. So the 2 ways to do it: you either bring them out, leave them on the countertop overnight, or you run them under some hot water for a good couple minutes. So those are going to sit right there. Now, we don't want to wait for our eggs. And so what we're going to do is we got a hot pan here. I've got clean hands, and I got some ground grass-fed beef, and this is going into my nonstick pan. Just enough to get a little bit of a sizzle. I don't want to scald it because those valuable omega-3s and CLAs that are in my saturated fat here, that's all. I don't want that to oxidize. That's the other advantage to soft boiling your eggs. When you cook your yolk all the way through, you are, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to kind of denature the nutritional profile of those fats. Oxidizing your fats is something you really want to be leery of. So this is going to be, beef is going to be cooking over low heat for a little bit. No seasoning on it yet. As we can see, we got a lot of nice water vapor coming off of the meat, and that's what we want. We want to get the water out of the meat because when portioning out our protein, we don't want to weigh water. Now with beef, that is a little bit of a double-edged sword. If you have a steak or a full-on ground beef patty, you want to keep your meat a little bit more on the medium rare side. Because again, you don't want to risk denaturing your fats, oxidizing your fats, and you don't want to cook out all that valuable creatine and stuff out of your meat. But this is getting down a little bit. So now this is the point where I'm actually going to start throwing some seasonings on. And this is grass-fed beef. So this is, I don't want to corrupt the nice flavor of it at all. So it's just going to be a little bit of black pepper, that much chili powder, this much garlic powder, and then my Himalayan salt. Enhance some minerals in here, and actually this is going to help pull more of the water out. You see I'm going heaviest on salt because that's valuable. And that's only going to enhance the flavor of that fat. And then lastly, I've got butter. Grass-fed, of course. And now the temperature is going to come down even lower, and all those nice little crispies that are in the bottom of this pan here, I'm going to use that butter to kind of deglaze it. All right, and that's just going to keep working around and bathing itself right in there. Okay, so while that's doing that, the water for our soft-boiled eggs is going pretty strong. My eggs themselves are up to temperature. And what I'm going to do is just take this lid off like so. And I want to lower my eggs right in there, and very gently I place my eggs into the water, and I look at the time. 1:58. 1:58, okay? So when it's 4 minutes past, I got to pull those eggs off. Now, as you can see, the water's still boiling. It didn't cool off. And I also didn't shock the temperature of those shells, so the eggs aren't going to bust up. Make sure you're always eating fresh eggs, by the way. A good way to note if your eggs are kind of on their way out, if you do drop, or place I should say, you place a whole egg into a glass or a bowl of water, it should lay flat on its side. If it's a few weeks old, it's going to start to kind of like come up off of the bottom. And if your egg is done for, then it's going to be floating. That same pocket of air that grows from the shell to the membrane of the inside of the egg, the bigger that gets, well, that's more air molecules that are going to be working around. So if you have a problem with your eggs constantly busting up when you drop them into the water, stop buying your eggs on sale. That means that they're expired. Okay, butter, this is all done with. I got my Tupperware here on my scale. It's always a really good thing to make sure that you're weighing out your protein, because protein is anti-ketogenic. All right, we're looking for, oh, that is a very sensitive scale. These are ounces here, right? Or are these set to grams?
It's set to ounces right now.
Set to ounces?
It's ounces with divisible by gram.
Okay, great. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
All right, we got 5 ounces of beef. That is perfect. And here's all that nice butter, okay? And so we can grab a bowl to serve this with. A little dish.
I'll tell you.
If you want, do you want to just eat that right out of your Tupperware?
Yeah, I'll eat it right out of Tupperware.
Dirtying anything up?
But I'll tell you, last night when I cooked it, my meat was, because I weighed it before I cooked it.
Right.
So I barely ate last night.
Yeah, yeah. So you're getting more bang here.
So I had 7 ounces worth of meat that I weighed prior to cooking it, and it looked like half of that.
Right. Now,
wow.
Moving on. We got to get back to our soft-boiled eggs. Do not lose track of the time, okay? We've only got another couple minutes that we can go here. So our empty vessel, we're going to start running some cold water. Cold water. Ice goes right in here for an ice bath. The more the merrier. You really want to shock it. Stop that yolk from cooking. Alright, so we've got cool water, and then as soon as we're at our 4-minute mark, we're going to drain the water, set the eggs into an ice bath. Now here's another decision that we can make. We've got 5 ounces of nice fatty beef here. So we could either make a meal out of just eating this, or we can cut this meat portion into half, and when our soft-boiled eggs are done, we can take 2 of those soft-boiled eggs and have steak and eggs. All right, we're just about done here with the eggs. I'm gonna turn the heat off. We're almost at 4 minutes past, and so the first thing that I want to do, as soon as that clock strikes 4 minutes, I'm gonna have like a tester. And I could just grab a spoon, and the tester egg is going to be to see if it's undercooked, because we can leave the eggs sitting in hot water and they're going to keep cooking on their own, and we could even drain the water off and they'll keep cooking on their own. All right, so we're at 6 minutes exactly. Here comes our tester egg, goes into the ice bath. It's going to sit right there for a moment. I'm going to drain off the rest of the water here. Now, even though these eggs are not in hot water, these eggs over here are still cooking. So as quickly as I can, I'm going to gently shell this egg out. And I'm going to just go ahead and make a mess on Anthony's countertop. And I can already tell that these eggs are cooked perfectly. So I don't even have to finish shelling this one. It's more important to me to get the rest of these eggs into an ice bath, because they're still cooking. Get them to stop cooking. Ice bath. There it goes. And here's another important note. Don't leave your eggs in the refrigerator without shelling them. After your eggs are boiled and after they're in the ice bath, give yourself about 10 minutes to shell them, because that is the only way to make sure that you're not going to rip. That you're not going to rip your egg white apart as the shell comes away from it. Okay, so let's get some good presentation going on here. So we're going to clear out the scale. This is the fork that Anthony's going to be eating with, and we're only going to be doing half of that protein in here. So we had 4 ounces, so we're going for like 2.5. This is the good part about not having your beef in a patty. This is why I break it up. All right, here comes some of that butter. We're going to look for about half of it. Okay, there it goes. And then we get 1 soft-boiled egg. You ready for it? Here it comes. And look at that perfectly soft-boiled yolk. All right. So there it is. That's how you make some really good steak and eggs. This is a perfect keto meal. You're eating low-carb, high-fat. This is ideal. This is very, very dense in fat-soluble vitamins, very high in protein. I don't want Anthony to be just looking at this food anymore, so I'm going to shell him out another egg. So he's got his complete profile here, and he's going to go to town on eating this. So you can soft boil 16, 22 eggs at once. All you need is more water for your ice bath, more water for your boiling. That's all you need to do. You can prep out pounds and pounds of ground beef at once. If I wanted to, I could put this in the freezer right now. Why not? Soft-boiled eggs are good in the fridge for up to, I've heard 10 days, but for me, they don't ever last more than 4 to 6. Now, for ground beef, I'll usually cook out up to 6 pounds at a time. I'll portion out what I'm going to eat for 3 days out, and then everything that's not going to get eaten goes in the freezer. Upon that 3rd day, thaw something out, portion that. So that's your food prep lesson from Possible Performance. Thanks for watching. Like and comment the video. Bye.